Om Shanti, and welcome to Soul to Soul. This is Rose from Brahma Kumaris in Glasgow, and tonight it's a really precious and wonderful subject we're going to talk about. It's called conscious eating. What does it mean to be healthy? Health is so important to us. Without health, we can feel not very happy. And this is more than just following a theory of what we should eat. When I know myself as a soul, and then I can realize that life is all about energy. And as we've been hearing again and again, I, the soul, am energy. I am the energy that drives this body. But the soul and the body are separate. And I can energize the soul by becoming peaceful. This also helps to improve the performance of the body, but I have to look after the body and the health of the body. And the body requires nourishment, the physical nourishment of nutrients that come from our food. But now, if I put attention to my thinking energy, I would want the best life journey that is possible. Because now it's over to me to look after my outcome, really. How I treat the body and the natural world can reveal a lot about how I think. And so, life is all about relationships. So, what is our relationship with food? Because this is what we're going to look at. Is it possible to recognize the calming effect that a good diet has on the mind? That's interesting. If I eat a lot of things that are harmful to the body, my mind will get very upset. My body will become very agitated. I will feel very disturbed, and eventually I won't feel well. I was thinking that if I was to know that certain things were, we'll use a strong word here, were poison, would I sit down and tuck into a plate of poison? No, that would be foolish. So if I understand that some things are not good for the physical body, would I continue to keep using these and feeding these to my physical body? But if I was to educate myself to the fact that certain foods are very, very restorative to the health of the body, and it goes beyond taste. Sometimes we'll say, oh, there's got no taste. It's because I've been used to the very strong tastes of food that are camouflaged actually with a lot of false flavours, etc., that if we were to really investigate, you might be surprised where they're all coming from. Billions of animals suffer for human consumption. So are we aware, caring and loving? And you know how we do love our pets. I mean, what happens when we see these fluffy little dogs and cats and And it's just like, wow, look at that. We wouldn't want to harm or hurt in any way. And we'd get so wanting to defend them if anyone was to hurt them. So we love them and we play with them, but we stay blind to the suffering of other animals. And I think now we're getting more and more seeing it. We're becoming educated. Some of us might not be looking at it at all, but we should. Because it takes courage to step away from the things we're used to and we think are normal, and we love the taste and we love this. So it takes courage to step out of the norm and to eat our food, to bring peace of mind to ourselves. Not just peace of mind, but peace to the whole energy pattern of the body. Energy is life. Health is freshness. Do we want to become more fresh, or do we want to become less fresh? Do we want to age quicker, or do we want to age more slowly? It all comes into it. When we start to eat very, very pure food, we find that our whole body becomes refreshed, becomes clearer and fresher. And we might not even realize it, because this doesn't happen in a second, but it does happen. And I think people who don't know you, or who know you and didn't see you for some time, they would go, gosh, you look really well. Or else they'll say, gosh, you're feeling okay, because you wouldn't be looking so well. So we're talking here tonight about having a look. We're all looking at vegan eating. And I think the whole world is beginning to convert to becoming vegan. But we're taking a step forward and saying to look at a whole food, plant-based diet. And this actually helps to restore areas of the body, helps us to stay more calm, positive, and energized. And as we clean up our diets, we also clear up our karma. Actions have consequences. And so these are good consequences. I'll feel so much relief. I'll feel so much better. And with daily meditation and a peaceful diet, really, I guaranteed from my own experience, we can experience peace of mind and light-hearted feelings and feelings of hope for ourselves. And it gives us the power to lift ourselves up when we start to feel a little bit down, because something good is happening inside us. And the fuel that we're using for our energy to move through life is cleaner and fresher and purer fuel. So again, a whole food, plant-based diet. And you can find out a lot about this. You can educate yourself in this as to what it actually means. There is someone that we really trust, and we look at all the things that this one researches. His name is Michael Greger, and you can find out about his website. I think it will be put up for you. He does what he calls the daily dozen, all the things that will keep you very, very healthy and balanced. And if you could add into that soul consciousness, then you'll be on your way to feeling like a better version of yourself altogether. And so he looks at, and we look at, general health, exercise, and simplicity. Consciousness in the kitchen, making food feel special. We learn to be very clean, cleanliness and care, and to have a high vibration when cooking or involved with food, staying as light-hearted as possible. Keep away from cooking or anything if you feel a bit agitated, because the vibrations affect your food. So you would keep away from it. You'd hopefully not be feeling like that. Drishti, which is looking at food with a good consciousness, a high consciousness, gives good vibes to your food. And a quiet environment where you're cooking and dealing with food, not chattering away about all the troubles of the world whilst you're in a kitchen. We try to keep the kitchen like a place of good vibes. And you would enjoy that. So create a quiet environment and become enthusiastic. Also good company. Be in good company if possible, and if not, well, think of good company. See yourself as good company. And we can also think of one above as very good company to think of if I've got no one else to think about. So research all these areas, research them, and think about all the possibilities of a whole food, plant-based diet. And this encourages kindness. Another thing to look at is, it's a movie called Game Changers. Again, I think we'll maybe put that name up for you. It's about athletes, famous world athletes, who are on this whole food, plant-based diet. And they're so strong. And usually they're the champions. Which is something amazing to think about. Amazing. Because your diet does affect your food. I'll tell you a story. This is going back a lot of years before we were all looking at whole food plant-based diets. This was just looking at a very clean-cut vegetarian diet, which was lots of vegetables. And there was this person who was a doctor, an Indian person, tiny little lady. She was a doctor, a research doctor in the American Army. And I was there when she gave the talk, and she said that there was all these huge, big, tall, great big American men, because as they're known for being big, especially in the army, and she was tiny. And they had to do training where they had to run so many miles in a morning. And she was up front running away, sometimes quicker than them. And they were astonished. They couldn't get over how this tiny little lady was able to be so fit, because none of them were, in these days, the word vegetarian was a big word. It was a big change. And she was pure vegetarian diet at that time. But we're beyond that now, actually, because we're saying no animal products at all, no milk, butter, cheese, anything like that. But even within that, she was stronger than people who were training and had muscles and were running and were training in the army in America. So, good company and research, go into it, have a look at this Michael Greger's website, because he'll tell you about every health aspect you're ever concerned about, every topic you're ever concerned about, and he will have researched it. So on a physical level, you do yourself a great benefit by doing this. And on a spiritual level, remember you're a soul. The energy that makes you think and make good decisions, and that helps the body to function. Okay.
It's quite a novel idea to make the cooking process peaceful, because in the modern world the cooking process is often portrayed as something very noisy and stressful and a bit like just working life, and it's kind of the more busy and noisy and stressful and sweaty it is, the more admirable it is. But the way you describe it is almost like an art form, like a graceful dance.
Well, you want to be in control of your own thoughts, your wits, if you like. It's not to get carried away by atmosphere and stress yourself out actually laughing and giggling and carrying on. It's to become thoughtful. You're going to do something that's of great benefit to you. And if you're carried away by the crowd, I mean, we know that we talk about coming together and chatting in a family. You're not going to be able to change that, but except we're all on lockdown now, and the chance of having a big family around us is something else. So it's a chance to have more stillness and more possibility of eating and more in silence. And if you're going to share something like this, something that's good for you, something that you've discovered, like, oh, I heard that if you do this, this is really good for you. Or here's something that actually is super if you were to cut down sugar, which we know. If you were to go without oil, this is really beneficial as well. This would actually, get rid of all your cholesterol and your chances of a heart attack and all this kind of thing. You could talk about sensible things. Doesn't mean you have to have a gagging order, not able to talk, but you could talk in a valuable way that would help the people that were with you and maybe help to save their lives. It is a service.
Do you stay really focused on the possibilities rather than all the things that you can't eat? Like adding in all the good things rather than I can't have this, I can't have that.
There's wonderful things if you get creative, and once you know it's so beneficial, it's like, wow, this is so good. Look at all these lovely vegetables. This is just so pure, so fresh. Yeah.
It's a really interesting idea as well about how energy comes through, that the soul energy, when you concentrate, it comes through the eyes naturally.
Yeah.
And I can look at my food to energize it as well. So would that the same go for, like, if I was going to take some vitamins, or if I had to take some medicine for something, or? should I look at it first, sort of with consciousness?
Yeah. Anything you're going to put into your body, you should give it this that we call drishti. Give it good vibes, good wishes, and think about why you want it. What is it to do? What's its job? If you're taking something to go to a certain area, direct it in that area and feel that power. Give it that power. Yeah.
So you're adding your assistance, your thought assistance.
Your
to
thought power.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would be some of your favourite whole food items that you would have on a regular basis? What are a couple of them?
Porridge.
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 Very Scottish.
Every morning. Porridge. And fruit, fresh fruit.
Okay.
Blueberries are good. And whatever you can have at this point in time. Fresh fruit, porridge, homemade soup full of vegetables, tofu from time to time, burgers that we make with vegetables, and lovely burgers. You can add lovely flavourings too. Yeah, these are my favourite foods, and I feel so lucky when I sit down to have this kind of food. And kale, lots of salad, lots of greens, Brussels sprouts, all this kind of thing. Yeah, bean sprouts, there's another thing that's very inexpensive, and if things get difficult and it's difficult to get green things, you just get the beans and soak them in water, and you can have them every day, and they're like fresh.
Sprout your own beans.
Sprout your own beans, and they're easy. All you do is soak them and eat them, and you've got them fresh. They're like fresh organic vegetables every day in your own kitchen. Yeah. So, good luck, and we'll put some information for you that you can check out, and it'll be good to hear your feedback at some point if you do this and you find a benefit, because if you do it, you will find a benefit. If you don't find a benefit, then you haven't done it. That's all I can say. So good luck. And I'd look forward to hearing how you get on. So now we're going to do some meditation. And remembering that the most important thing of all of this, which gives us the power to see and understand the benefit, is that I am as so. The energy of life. And it's my duty as the soul to look after this physical body, because I'm the thinker, I'm the being, I'm the one to support the life in this body and to keep it as healthy and fresh as I'm able to think. And so I am the soul. I want to do my best for the life and the body that I'm in. And for that I find to remind myself every day that I am the being, the energy, the life, and that I am the child of the one above, And I can teach myself to feel the support of the one above. And whatever I do, I can also help others. Do my best to give that vibration of soul consciousness out into the world over and over throughout the day. I am a soul. And I live in this physical body. And I teach myself and encourage myself to appreciate knowing who I am and what is possible through knowing who I am. Knowing who I am enables me to have a much more full and rich life experience. And it's my duty to share this experience with others.